Hi, hello, nice for you to join me here. Welcome to my wonderful video for my not so wonderful WordPress site. Here we have the site that I was trying to recreate, should we say. Spy Hill Consulting, it's a business consulting website, something pretty boring, pretty simple site, just a bit of information, not great. I actually think my site's a little bit better, almost exactly the same. This is my recreation of the site. So this module was a WordPress module, well, a content management system module. So I had to create a website that you use the content management system, meaning that the client can change the site in the back end by themselves without having to pay someone to update their site every time they want to add a little bit of information. So basically what that means is everything below the navigation here, the client can change. They can change this title for this top section. They can change the body text here. They can change the button color. Actually, it should be gold, but I've changed it to red. I'll show you how I did that. You can change the button text, and then in this section, the title, all this text, the button color, the button text. In this section, for the approach, you can change the title, the tag sort of description here, and then you can change each of these little sections individually. Within each one, you can change the photo, the title, and the text in there, and the button again. This section you can I've done it a little bit differently because I wanted to include bullet points like the original site. So I used what's called a WYSIWYG field. Probably could have just done it with an ordered list, but I didn't. And the button again. And this section, the client section, is a bit like the approach section where you can add a different little section like this. You can add an image for our logo, and you can change the name and the button again. And then this in the last section, you can change the title, body, and you can change the name of the person making the quote. So I'll show you what I've used as what plugins I've used. So this is the dashboard. What I've done is I've used a plugin called Custom Field Suite, which just allows you to change areas of the site and make them custom. So there's one called Advanced Custom Fields, which everyone seems to say is the best one, but I've used Custom Field Suite for this one. It worked for me a bit better. So what it does is it creates a little section here for field groups, and you create each one. You create a new one for each page, but I only have one page on my site, which I shouldn't have done. And then to create a field group being one of the sections, you add a new field, and then you give it the label of, so we'll create one called the section, and then you create that as a tab. These are all the different field types you can have, but if you're creating a new field group, you need to create a new tab, and that sort of gives everything you create below that tab until the next tab will be contained within that tab. So for example, here we have the page top tab, which is everything within this area is in that, and then everything within the about tab is in this area. So here we've got the page top heading. It would be the title of that top area, and then the body then the button style, and then the button text. The about, the that's the about tab, about title, about body, text, whatever. And then there's the approach tab, the approach title, and then I've used what's called a loop for each of those little sections. So everything within the loop you put in here, and every time you create a new one, it brings in all of these. So what that looks like on the pages section. So you go into pages, and then in here. So each one of these should be on a different page, but they're on their own page. So this is where you can change everything. So where it says marketing means business, we'll change that. We'll do it to marketing. What does it look like now? Marketing means business. That's got a red button. I'll change that to marketing makes business, and we'll make the button gold. And then we'll change the button text to let's go. Let's go. And then update. And if this works, yeah, where marketing makes business, buttons gold, and it says let's go. So that's what it does. Really simple, actually, not very difficult. So that's essentially what I've done. I've used a range of fields, text, which is just one line of text, text area, which is multiple lines of text, select, which allows you to select some different choices, and each choice that sort of spits out a different class, so you can style each one differently. What else have I used? I've used a loop. Within the loop comes file, so that's where you can add a new image. So yeah. The WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get. That's for the services section. I think that's it. Yeah, there are a number of different ones you can use. True, false, color date, hyperlink, relationship. I'm not really sure when I would need to use all of those. Probably should have tried them all out to see what they do, but I didn't. So I'll go into my text editor here, and I'll show you what I've done. Now I know this is wrong, but what I did whenever I was making this, I just built the site as I would have done before. Just created a index.html file and just started writing HTML as I would have done with a style sheet. And then what I did was I just copied and pasted all of the entire page HTML into the header.php file. That's wrong. What I should have done was I should have just put the head and the header area within the header.php file, and then I should have put each section within a different page template, if I was to make it correctly. This is wrong, very wrong. I've also not made a child theme. I've just kind of edited 2015 itself, which again is wrong. Oops. But that's at least I know that what I've done is wrong. So I'll go through some of my code. Again, this is wrong. If I'd made each of the different sections as a different page, then the navigation, WordPress would create the navigation themselves, but I have it hard coded here, so that doesn't change no matter what. Here is the first bit of PHP I've used. So this is the top page area. So here is the page top title, and then what I did was I just wrote the title, the actual title, whenever I wrote it out, and then I just removed that and entered this little bit of PHP. So it says, so it opens the PHP tag, and then it says echo, which means like show or like spit out whatever CFS, which is the custom field suite, whatever it says to get. So it says get the page top heading, which the users changed in the dashboard, which in this case is where marketing makes business, or used to be marketing means business until I changed it. So that's pretty straightforward. Custom field suite give this little bit of PHP, so I didn't really need to know how to write this myself. I just kind of, it just told me that's what I needed to use, but I understand it. And then basically the same for the page description, although it's not on one line. It's the same little bit of PHP. It just says get the page top body, and that's when I've made the field group. That's the name. You're getting that from the name. So each one of that, the name of that needs to match up with the bit of PHP I've done here, which it does. And that's why it works. And then it's a bit different for changing the button style. So you use a bit more PHP, and it basically says get the top button style, but down here it needs to change the class to change the color of the button. So I've written button hyphen and then added a little bit of PHP that says get whatever the button class is, and then that's the button class is the value, and then the value is whatever the label says it is. So here we have, that's the label, and then there's the values and the labels here. So whatever that says it is, it means spit that out here, and that changes the class. So here it's, what color is it? It's gold. Gold, I think, yeah. So it's saying make this class button gold, and then in the style sheet I've got 3 different classes for the 3 different button styles: button red, button gold, button grey, and it's that simple. That's basically, yeah, that's the button area, and then the button text is the same. That just goes within the anchor tags. The about section is the same. It's just text and a button. And then in the approach section, that's the bit where it's a bit different. It uses slightly, well, it's the same little bit of PHP for the custom field suite for the approach title. And then for the items, I've used the loop. So it says a loop field. Basically, a loop field is a container for field types. I've got it written down here. Container for repeating fields within a field group. So I've written in here, I've made the loop, and then within the loop is a image of text area and a bit of text. So the image, that the name has to match up with here. So yeah, it's approach image, field image, approach item title, approach item text, and then whatever you change each of these to. So you add a new item, and then it allows you to add an image. Move this row, yeah. So for each one, there's an image, a title, and a bit of text. That's the loop. So every time you create a new one, you have an option for an image, title, and the text. I think I've set a maximum of, or minimum of 1 and a maximum of 4, just so it doesn't mess up the site. and that's what it looks like in the PHP. And it's again pretty simple. It just means get the field name, and then like spit out each one. This is what I had done before that. Was I just hard coded each one, and then that's much simpler. It's much neater. But I kept that HTML just so I knew what it was. And then again, the button style, button text, services. This is where I've done the WYSIWYG area, and it's again just like the text area. It's basically what it is, but that looks like, yeah, that looks like that. That's, yeah, because I wanted to have the bullet points. So whenever you click on the services tab, it brings up, this is the services list left column and the right column. So whatever you put in each of these sections will be shown on the page. It gives you a lot of space. That's I think that's all the different custom field suite field types I've used. Yeah, and again I've used the loop for the clients area, which is, yeah, loop for this area where you can change the title and the logo. And what does that look like? Yeah, you can add a new title, new client, minimum of 3, maximum of 12. I think I've set it as. But you can there's only 2 options for this: the name and the logo. Where the other one had 3: the image, the title, and a description. So there's just the 2 here. And again, I've shown how I did it before, where I just hard coded it in. And again, it's much messier. It's just time consuming whenever you can just insert it all through the dashboard. You don't need to worry about the code working every time because you've already styled it. And then, yeah, just text areas at the bottom. And what I have, I've got the footer in the header. That's silly. So yeah, if the client wants to update their site, they just go, they can add new field groups if they wanted, but I don't see why they would want to. But yeah, if they want to edit something on the page, click any one of these tabs and they can change whatever they want. That's all I've got to say. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed my little video, and I hope you enjoy marketing.